Bulavinaka, my name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, change in national mood evidence, says PM. Construction industry optimistic with positive growth forecast. And bogus travel agents rake in millions, says FCCC.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says the reforms carried out by his government over the years has created equal opportunities for every Fijian. Speaking to the Fijian community in the United Kingdom during a reception, Bainimarama outlined the progress made by the nation. While inviting the former residents to witness the achievements firsthand, he said the biggest thing they will notice isn't necessarily physical, but a real difference in the national mood. Ritika Pratap reports.
The Prime Minister stressed that all Fijians are on the same journey towards creating a better and stronger nation worthy for our children and the future generations.
The last years in which we argued about who deserves the bigger slice of the national cake are over. We are growing the cake year by year to ensure that everyone can get a bigger slice. And the unity and national focus we have created has transformed our prospects and providing ordinary Fijians with more opportunity than at any other time in our history.
Bainimarama says the Fijian economy is about to chalk up its 9th successive year of growth, something that has never happened before.
The record number of jobs we have created, the new infrastructure everywhere, roads, airports and all manner of development, and our ability to provide free schooling, tertiary scholarships and loans, free medicine and water, and subsidized electricity for low-income earners, the first social security system in Fijian history.
The Prime Minister says the reforms have changed the national mood in Fiji.
People have been empowered, whether it is through our education revolution or our grants to small and micro business owners. Our assistance for agriculture and women, or better access to roads, health and communications in rural and maritime areas.
Meanwhile, Bainimarama also urged the Fijians in the UK who are eligible to vote in the forthcoming election to exercise their democratic right. He says the election date will be announced soon. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The sound economic growth forecast for the future has boosted the morale of the Construction Industry Council. President Gordon Jenkins says there is optimism within the industry and the stakeholders are looking at ways to overcome the challenges, which include the shortage of trade workers and the licensing of all companies. Sani Animboila reports.
Construction companies are being urged to introduce training at workplace to overcome skill shortages and meet the rising demands.
Plenty of, let's say, intelligence here, but it's not directed in the right direction at this moment. And I think, I'm pretty sure that if we can get that done, if we can get that people doing that, we'll have good craftsmen, we'll have good people administering contracts, we'll have people who are capable of putting together documents and stuff for construction contracts.
The council will be hosting a conference in June where key issues affecting the industry will be discussed. According to the Fiji Master Builders Association, the conference is long overdue.
Last time we had such a conference was about 20 years ago. This is very timely as well because, as you know, the building industry at the moment is at its peak. It's at a boom. There's many construction activities going around the country.
Currently, there are 24 organizations that are part of the council, and the industry stakeholders are aiming to encourage other companies to join the council as well. Sainiani Mboila, FBC News.
The severe tropical cyclones that struck the Pacific Island countries in the last few years shows the link between global warming and the rising sea levels. COP23 high-level climate champion Ines Ratu says these natural disasters have affected us significantly, and Fiji is privileged to be the champion under the Commonwealth Blue Charter of the Ocean and the Climate Action Group. Ritika Pratap has more.
Fiji is focusing on a number of areas under the Ocean and Climate Action Group, which includes marine ecosystem and blue carbon.
And we will work with partners on blue carbon, developing financial mechanisms that recognize and fund the role of mangroves, seagrass, coastal wetlands and coral reefs in sequestering carbon, as well as supporting marine protected areas.
Ratu says Fiji will also work with key partners on the 2020 and 2030 targets on resilience, emission reductions and ocean health. He says Fiji will also support the ocean's pathway engagement in the UNFCCC and encourage commitments from shipping companies to reduce emissions and the Ocean Certification Alliance.
I'm rather heartened to hear what you all are saying as countries that might be seen as lesser countries. What you're wanting, does the West, the big ones who are the ones to really get it implemented, are they listening to you?
We are all in the same canoe. Climate change affects all of us. And if it does affect all of us, then we have to take responsibility as well. All of us. It's about shared responsibility.
Ratu says Fiji is also serious about tackling plastic pollution. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
More than 100 Fijians have lost over $2 million after falling victims to bogus travel agencies in the last 4 years. The Consumer Council has received 53 complaints, worth over $100,000, while the complaints with the Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission amounts to over $2 million. Pranita Prakash reports in some cases, Fijians have gone to airports only to find out their visas and air tickets were fake.
Consumer Council Chief Executive Premla Kumar says they have been continuously raising concerns on this issue.
And unfortunately, we don't have proper regulations to regulate travel agency business in the country. And because there is no regulation, we normally see the same culprits who have been swindling consumers. They close one shop and under another name they will open another one somewhere else.
The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission has received around 55 complaints in the last 2 years.
Families that paid for family migration paid up to $15,000 to $20,000, and these are families of tradesmen, fishermen. We had fishermen sell their outboard engines. We had people sell their cars, borrowed money from families. So there's a lot of social implications of this as well.
Fijians have been urged to make proper checks before paying hard-earned cash to any agency.
At least cross-check and verify before you make that sizable investment into something that's eventually going to go down the drain.
The Consumer Watchdog and the Protection Agency believe the travel agencies need to be regulated. Consumers have also been urged to use credible and known agencies for their travel overseas. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Still to come, hundreds turn up for annual FBC Park Jam. And we look at the successful journey of national boxing coach.
Bula, kera mai singatoka, kera ndo talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Usi kombinasyon mo tikola ndo talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina Domoy Viti.
Ayaw ko yazo sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gitu pinasibale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
27 children with heart problems have undergone successful surgeries at the CWM hospital in Suva in the last 9 days. The youngest child was a 2-month-old baby, while the oldest was a 14-year-old boy. Pranita Prakash reports.
25 children who were operated on in the last 9 days have already been discharged.
amazing recovery, I would add. I think the children here in Fiji are robust. This is something which I haven't seen back home. Some of the kids were actually sent home on day 3 of operation. The minimum I would like to keep them is for 4 to 5 days. But yes, amazing recovery. So at the moment there are only 2 kids in the ICU, and hopefully in a day or 2 they should be ready to go to the ward and discharge from there.
For this mother of 3, her prayers were answered when the visiting teams arrived in the country.
I was giving birth. Then the doctor told me that my son having a lump on the heart. I was very happy because of they just patched the lump. So I was very happy. The breathing went well. So I was so happy.
The 16-member team consisted of surgeons from India, US and Oman and were brought in by the Sai Prema Foundation to provide free services. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
At least $60,000 Fijian dollars was raised by the Outrigger Fiji Beach Resort during their Walk for Kids 2018 program yesterday. Funds raised from this walkathon will be used to purchase a 4-wheel drive vehicle for the teachers at the Singatoka Special School and also to build a teacher's quarters. Felipe Nacaso has more.
Walking to assist children with special needs and also assisting community schools is what these families have pledged.
With the proceeds that we hope to raise, half will go to buying a 4-wheel drive for the special needs school, and that'll allow the teachers to go up to the valley and see the kids with special needs and give them one-on-one education up the valley. The other half will go to building a new teachers' houses at the newer school.
Said Kayum also pledged $20,000 towards the initiative from various sponsors.
Now notoriously famous for having a fantastic reputation in the work that they do in the community. If I can probably sound a bit biased and say it's probably the only hotel that engages in the community in such a manner throughout Fiji.
Participants that took part in the program walked from the Outrigger Fiji Beach Resort to Singatoka town. Felipe Nacaso, FBC News.
Hundreds flocked to the Suva Civic Centre car park last night to be part of the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation's Today FM Park Jam. Live music from local artists, the aroma of delicious food and other entertainment from the crowd filled the atmosphere, making it yet another successful event. Kelly Vathala reports.
This was the scene at the FBC Today FM Park Jam at around 8 last night, as people continued to make their way to enjoy the most anticipated event of the year.
More livelier than expected. You can see families, you can see the elderly also coming and enjoying the night. And it's also an alcohol-free night. So it's completely safe. We have cops, we have security, we have food, we have rides. It's a fun facility to be with.
The event was widely welcomed by families who said they managed to spend quality time with their loved ones.
So awesome because we can have fun, enjoy ourselves with all the music.
I like coming to Park Jam because we come with a brother, we enjoy with each other. The atmosphere is very lively and so very good for the family and the kids.
There's definitely a lot of hype happening here, and we just wanted to come down as a family and enjoy the food and great entertainment provided.
FBC plans to make the event bigger and better in the future.
It's pretty much more successful than last year, and we aim to make it more successful in the coming years.
The purpose of the event was to give families, especially those who came from outer islands, to participate at the Coca-Cola Games a fun and memorable experience before they head back home. Kelly Vathala, FBC News.
Starting in a small corner of the Rumbuka Gym in Lauvala Bay, Suva many years ago, and now owning a boxing gym in Turak was not part of his dream. Tonight's Successful Fijian segment features the journey of national boxing coach Napoleon Taumoepeau, who moved to Fiji from the United States in 1996. Meli Tavanga reports.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Settling in Fiji was not something Napoleon Taumoepeau wanted at first. Born and bred in Florida, United States, Taumoepeau reluctantly settled in Fiji over 2 decades ago, unaware of the success that awaited here.
So, you know, my wife moved back to the States with me, and then she never really liked the States. And then, so I moved back to Fiji with her because she wanted to come back around her family, and then I couldn't stay in Fiji, so it was kind of like a tug of war there. We went back to the States one last time, and the States is going through a difficult time. There was there was a real estate crash. There was some problems going on with the economy. So we said, let's just simplify everything. Let's go to Fiji.
The former international heavyweight began his boxing coaching career in 2011. A win by his boxer in New Zealand was a game changer. This is when Napoleon started his own gym.
I used to train fighters out of the corner part of Rabuka Gym. And out of that corner, we took a fighter to New Zealand, and we actually won a silver in the New Zealand Nationals. That was in 2012. And used boxing as a form of exercise, a way to lose weight. So, and I seen there was none in Fiji, so I thought I'd give it a go and try to make a boxing gym that catered to everybody.
Like many other businesses, Tomo Piao faced some obstacles starting his gym.
Licenses, OHS, fire. I mean, I had to follow rules. It was a very old building. I had to knock down, I did most of the construction myself. Winston and his brother helped me as well. We did most of the bars in there, and pull-up bars, the ring. We built it with our own two hands.
Tomo Piao has recently expanded his business in 2014, introducing CrossFit class. He is the only qualified CrossFit coach in Fiji. He was named the fittest person in Fiji by CrossFit Forging Elite Fitness.
Expanded, we've added a CrossFit section to it, which is our strength and conditioning center for international team as far as boxing is concerned.
The 40-year-old says he does not run the business for financial gains.
My drive behind that is like changing people's lives, just loving my job. I walk in there with no shoes on and run a class. I mean, that's the kind of job I'd rather have than sit in a desk all day and maybe make even 3-4 times more than what I make there. I'd rather work there and enjoy my life and enjoy my job.
The father of two says his boxing classes are open to anyone from Monday to Saturday.
10 a.m. class, that's kind of an off time. That's more for the mothers that have to get up early and drop the kids off, and then they have free time after that. Then we have a lunch hour class. That's from 1 o'clock to 2. That's for most of the people that work in the area.
He is encouraging youngsters to follow their dreams no matter what the circumstances are. Beli Tavanga, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Coming up in sports, Fijiana to play Russia in 5th place playoff in Japan's sevens. And Mataele scores for the Crusaders.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकू रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारियल रेकी से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट। आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट।
The Fijiana's 7 side came from behind to beat China in the 5th place semi-final 24-19 in the Japan Sevens. China led 12-7 at halftime. Fiji's tries came from Tinai Ravisa, Miriam Nayombasarli, Priscilla Siata and Anna Naimasi. Fiji will meet Russia in the 5th place playoff at 7:42 p.m. Earlier, the Fijiana Sevens team lost 31-7 to Australia in the Cup quarterfinals. The Suva rugby side made a winning start in the opening round of the Skipper Cup at Nausori's Ratadakambao Park. Suva came from behind to beat Malolo 42-13. Malolo dominated in the first half where they led 13-8. In other matches, Nandi defeated Nandronga 13-5 at Prince Charles Park, while the Naitasiri side defeated Namosi 24-23. Rewa outclassed Navosa 24-19. Madhuwata started its 2018 Vodafone Vanoi Championship campaign with a win over Mboa in their first match of the season. They're looking to get back in the top 8 of the major division. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
A battle between two neighboring Vanoi-level provinces. From the get-go, the Madhuwata provincial rugby team proved they were the stronger side. At halftime, Madhuwata led 10-3. And at the final whistle, it was 18-9 to Madhuwata. Interim coach Sebina Nanuku says it was a good game, but he was not happy with the performance of the boys.
Not really tough. I think it was a good game, but not to my expectation. Fitness level and in speed line and ball retention. We need to work hard on that preparation for our next game.
Mboa coach Meli Korwuli is happy with the performance of the Mboa side despite their inexperience, with the team only playing Rugby Union for the second year now.
There's a lapse of years we are not taking part in rugby in the B division. This is our second year we have been participating in the B division and we have done well. The boys did well, since we don't have any proper preparation back in Mboa, we don't have any facilities.
Madhuwata plays Nasinu in its second match of the Vodafone Vanua Championship, and Mboa hosts Teilevu on May 6th. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC Sports.
The Kaundrove were too strong for the Northern Bulls Naita Series side in their Vodafone Vanoi Championship match at Ratunganilau Park in Savu-Savu yesterday. The pressure was on both sides to win their first match. Eleanor Tarangaivu again with this report.
The Kaundrove were jotting down points on the scoreboard barely 10 minutes into the game. By halftime, they were leading 10-3.
This time of the year, teams are just starting to find their feet. This is their first game. And as the season progresses, they'll get better.
In the second spell, Naitasiri increased their points to 6 with a penalty kick, and the Kaundrove responded with a try and a successful conversion, followed by another penalty kick. When the pressure kicked in, the hosts, the Kaundrove, copped 3 yellow cards and 1 red card, and the visitors copping 1 red and 1 yellow.
My boys done really well. I thought they stuck to the game plan, apart from the hiccup right at the end there with some discipline issues. I thought they played a very good game, and we can only get better from here.
The relatively young Northern Bulls Naita Series side went down fighting 23-11. Interim manager Beniasi Morda says they have learned from their weaknesses on the field.
We have always taught them the importance of having a good and fair game, but everyone has seen what happened in the field today. We apologize to the FRU, to our supporters and to the people of the Kaundrove of what transpired here. We will get better.
The Northern Bulls side face Nasinu in their next match in 2 weeks' time, and the Kaundrove hosts Ovalau at Ratunganilau Park. Eleanor Turangaibiu, FBC Sports.
Fiji-born winger Manasa Mataele scored a try for the Crusaders to help his side defeat the Sunwolves 33-11 in a Super Rugby match last night. The Sunwolves have lost all their 8 matches this season, while the Crusaders climbed to second place on the overall table, 1 point behind the Lions. Meanwhile, in other matches, Highlanders beat Blues 34-14, Lions hammered Waratahs 29-0, Bulls won against Rebels 28-10, and Sharks defeated Stormers 24-17, while Chiefs beat Reds 36-12. The first leg of the OFC Champions League semi-final between Lautoka and Marist FC ended with a 1-1 draw at Lautoka's Churchill Park. The Solomon Islands-based team was leading 1-0 at halftime. Lautoka's Oser Vakatalesao scored the equaliser in the 3rd minute of the second half. The All Boys of the Ratukandavu Level School played a vital role in the successful outing of the athletes at this year's Coke Games. School Vice Principal and Team Coordinator Walesi Songoiwasa says the All Scholars not only provided financial support, but also came out in numbers to support the boys during their 3-day campaign at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. RKS athletes ended the 21-year-old drought by winning this year's Fiji finals, bagging 11 gold medals. Meli Tavanga reports.
The tremendous support from the RKS OB paid dividends as the school managed to lay hands on the Co-Games trophy after 2 decades.
All schools, especially the 90s, they've been supporting us, giving us incentives, those locally and those abroad.
they've given us the support that we wanted during our preparation.
Team coordinator Walesi Songwe Wasa says the athletes were physically and mentally prepared for the games.
Thank the Almighty Lord. We have depended on Him from the first day. We give back the honor and the glory to the Almighty God, and we hope that everything is achieved. God will be glorified.
Girls reigning champion ACS team coach Antonio Ramboiliku also shared the same sentiments.
There's so much support in the team, the support from the school itself, straight from the principal. Of course, not forgetting our former students who are always backing up the team. Many times, most of the things that we need, they are the ones who supplied, and we are always thankful to that.
Meanwhile, a grand celebration will be held at the school in Londoni next month, when students will return from their 2 weeks break. Melita Wanga, FBC Sports.
Disqualified senior boys 200 meters runner Shane Tavusa's lone second attempt in laying his hands on the third medal failed yesterday when he clocked at 22.29 seconds in the race. Tavusa told the game officials that he made a break start because of the noise in the embankment. The race was won by Jim Volasau of QVS at the time of 22.05 seconds. Silver medal went to Melchizedek Katafono of Dudley, and Eroni Vosa Sanimbola of Lelin took out the bronze medal. Natambo then lodged a complaint with the jury to appeal Tavusa's disqualification. The jury ruled that the race be rerun, despite the fact that the medal presentation was done. Tavusa had to rerun alone and missed out on the medal as he was the fourth best.
Look, I think that you've got to make sure that you've got the right people in the right positions. You've got to respect the jury. They made a tough decision on a tough day. Whether they would make that decision on another day, they'll have to live with it. For the athlete, a very tough day, a tough weekend for him.
The North Queensland Cowboys ended their 5-game losing streak with a convincing 26-14 defeat of the Gold Coast Titans last night. Cowboys led 12 at halftime. A low-pressure system lies slow-moving to the southwest of Kandavu. Associated trough of low pressure affects Kandavu and nearby smaller islands and the southern Lau group. Looking at the west, partly sunny and pleasant. Eastwards from Pack Harbour to Suva, it was pleasant with times of clouds and sun. And up north, fine conditions prevailed throughout the day. At sea, moderate to fresh northwest and northeast winds, gusty at times. Winds expected to turn and become predominantly southeasterly tomorrow, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, the next high tide is at 12:22 tomorrow morning, and the low tide is at 6:21. Sunrise will be at 6:18. For tomorrow, it's cloudy periods with few showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, fine apart from afternoon or evening showers. And looking further on to Tuesday, expect much of the same weather. Recapping the main stories for tonight, change in national mood evidence, says PM. Construction industry optimistic with positive growth forecast. And bogus travel agents rake in millions, says FCCC. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should harsher sentences be given out to those attacking police officers? Visit our FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. And that was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
is hot.
हाय मैं संध्या नारिया रेफ्रिजरेटर से मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लव मिर्ची एफएम
हमें स्पिन टकता हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे
Mirchi FM, it's hot.